Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. So this week we are doing something special. So I usually, for the most part, everything is fishing on this channel, since it's called Bakasuri, which means idiot fishing. Bakasuri Gaijin, idiot fishing foreigner, or foreigner fishing. You get the picture. This week we're doing something special though. I am gonna talk about road trips. Specifically, we are in the very south of Japan, southwest in Nagasaki Prefecture. We're going to be driving all the way to Kobe, specifically to Awaiji Island. So Awaiji Island is a man-made island, man-made, right off the coast of Kobe. So basically, you got Kobe, Osaka, and then the islands are here, which leads to another island chain. We're going to be driving all the way down here, up across the bridge onto Honshu, which is the main island, through Hiroshima up to Kobe. It's going to be 8-hour drive. So I'm going to go into the specifics because I'm not taking my K car, my smaller van that I normally do on my kayaking. I think it would just be too painful for the family. So we're going to get a rental, and I'm not going to get an American one on my base that I have access to. I'm going to get one out in Japan so I can show you, the viewers, what it's like to rent a car here, what it comes with, what are some of the features, stuff to anticipate. I'm going to be talking about tolls. I'm going to be talking about rest stops, everything you need to basically know. Because whether you're stopping in Tokyo for a couple weeks and you take a road trip out to Mount Fuji, or you're going to Osaka and you want to drive to Nara, Kyoto, somewhere else, although you really don't need to. Maybe you just want to drive here in Japan. That's something that you want to do. So the first thing I'm going to go over here, well, I'm here in my house because I'm going to be picking up the rental a little bit later today. I'm going to talk about the price breakdown. So for a trip like this, the rental car is going to cost me, including insurance and all the upgrades that I wanted with this car, it's going to be costing me $447.34 US. Price might change a little bit because the yen rate when I did it was like 158. It's 161 right now. Might be going up even more. That is a 30-year low for the yen rate against the dollar. Back when I first came to Japan, literally the day before the tsunami and great earthquake, all that stuff. Yeah, you remember that. Yen rate was almost 1 to 1. So to see this, it's just absolutely crazy. In my mind, almost everything's like 30-40% off. So, but some of the things here have increased in price. So you have to be wary of that, especially travel. That's one of the reasons that we're taking the road trip. Shinkansen or airplane plus a rental, because the place that we're going to in Awaiji is quite a ways away from Kobe. And when we want to see some things in Kobe, we want to see some things in Awaiji. But anyways, so the total price is around 450 bucks. Let's just say that. I'm going to be renting it today. Today is the 3rd of July. I'm going to be turning it back in on the 8th in the morning. We're only going to be road tripping for 3 days, maybe 4. Don't really know because I kind of want to take Sunday off, regather, because 8-hour drive, it's pretty long. But we're going to be stopping here and there doing some cool stuff. Yeah, so the rental comes with something called ETC. ETC is what you do. It's a specific gate. So you have 2 gates when you're on the toll roads. You have ETC, which is an automatic reader system that's installed in there, and you have a microchipped card that you can insert in there. I have one because I live here. You can also rent one from certain companies. I'm going to be going to Times Japan. Times Japan is one of the bigger companies here, but there's a lot of different rental companies. So do your research if you're going to go. See if you can actually get an ETC from them. But the other one for most likely you're going to do is you're going to be doing cash, so yen. The way it works, I'll show you in the video clip, but you pull in, you're going to get a card, and when you're going to exit, you're going to give that card to either the employee or put it in the system, and it's going to tell you how much you owe. It seems quite expensive, but honestly, it's not that bad, especially if you have a yellow plate, a K car plate. From here to Fukuoka, It's a trip that I do quite often, at least once a month. It's maybe 1,500 yen. So we're talking $10. People complain about that. But if you have a bigger plate, it can be like 25. So there's quite a bit of difference. So round trip, you're talking $50. So I just say make a day of it. Lunch, dinner, do whatever you need to do, see some sights, make a day of it. It's a trip. All right, so next thing on the list, hotel. So for 3 nights, 2 nights, 3 days, $150. Not bad. We're right next to the airport. We specifically got this hotel just because it has a swimming pool. I know. Tattoos are a big thing here. So do your research if the place is going to let you use it or not. I literally have a full body suit. So I'm just like, wearing the whole thing, head to toe. I have to wear special booties because I have tattoos on my feet. This is what it is. You just kind of have to accept it as a gaijin living here in Japan. It's their country, not yours. So play by their rules. Always was taught, if I can remember this correctly, a guest starts to smell after 3 days. So yeah, kind of that thing. Don't be rude here. See way too many rude tourists, but that is that. And lastly, we're going to be talking about park. So we are going to Awaiji Island to something like Marori no something. Yeah, I can't speak Japanese. But anyways, so this park is really famous for anime. It's got a Naruto section. Naruto Boruto. I like Naruto. I don't like the new one. Crayon Shinchan. Crayon Shinchan is huge here in Japan for kids. It's closest thing I can say to it. It's an American Japanese version of SpongeBob. It's about a little kid and his dysfunctional family, and he constantly likes to show his butt. Kind of like Bart Simpson, but Crayon Shinchan is really funny. My kid loves it. I love it. It's super popular. It's got like 11 movies, and it is the longest running anime. Correct me if I'm wrong. Here in Japan, it's been going since the 70s, so that's kind of crazy. Super popular too. And then lastly, there's some other areas like Dragon Quest and a small Demon Slayer area. But lastly, what I'm really going for, Godzilla. So it is home to the Godzilla Museum for all of Japan. It's got some of the largest expos displays of the actual suits from movies. It's got a lot of extras and things from the movies, suit designs, original, everything there. It's got a store. It's got an area where kids can pretend to be monsters and knock over these like fake buildings. Come out of this ball pit that looks like the ocean. My kid's gonna go absolutely insane. And then an area with basically every single kaiju Bandai action figure that you can think of. So all the kids are just going crazy and they're having a good time. Right next to that, there's a restaurant with themed dishes on the different kaiju. So Mothra dish, Ghidorah, the three-headed dragon, Mothra, Godzilla, you name it. It's got all these different dishes, whether it's curry, a burger, a pancake, you name it. It's really cool. And then some of the other dishes are to Naruto, Shinchan, Demon Slayer, City Hunter, Hunter x Hunter, you name it. There's a lot of stuff there. Pretty cool. Depending on when you go, some of the stuff is like for a limited time. That's to draw people in. Prices aren't bad. So for the all-exclusive unit, which I'm going to be doing, my wife is just going to be doing general, and then my son got a package for all of them because he's only limited to do so much because he's still 3. He's going to be turning 4 in a month here or something like that. So my price, it was, let me do the breakdown in real time. My price ticket was 9,400 yen, which is $58. So with $58, I get the all-exclusive, I get a backpack, I get a bag, I get a gift. You can make a little movie, like where you're fighting Godzilla. It's like a trailer. Basically, like you shoot a couple scenes and then they inject it into a pre-made thing. And then you get a picture with your entire family. On top of that, I'm going to be ziplining into Shin Godzilla's mouth, which is absolutely cool. I can't wait to put that on this tape. I'm so pumped. Um, Naruto, including one of the three zip line slash mazes that you have to go through. So there's like extreme, expert, and then beginner. You're basically a ninja and you have to solve puzzles and go through and find your way to his grand office by defeating like bad guys and stuff like that. It's super cool. We're not going to be participating in that because I think my son would go absolutely insane. But that's 7,900 yen. So you're talking 40 bucks ish. Let me actually do it right now. $45. So not bad. Sorry, my phone's blowing up. And Shinchan. So Shinchan, the all exclusive package, which I'm going to be getting for my wife, so she can get the novelty stuff. That is 7,000. So roughly about 40 bucks. Shinchan has 3 obstacle courses as well. My son is going to be trying the smallest one. Not sure if he's going to be able to do it, but it also comes with like a water area. There's like a school maze in there that's like miniature for kids and doing stuff. Just a lot of weird, zany kid stuff. I'll be capturing a lot of that and putting it on this episode as well. But that being said, I'm going to be doing the last second stuff around the house, and then we'll be picking up our rental, and I'll go through how it works so you can better understand. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so here's my van. I'm obviously not taking it on this trip. We are going to be taking this rental. So I got a Toyota Raze, not sure how to pronounce it. 2x2, seats 4 comfortably, a lot of storage. Should be good for this trip. So this trip, as you saw on the map, is 8 hours. Should be pretty easy. So your standard Japanese car comes equipped with a few things. Touch start, navigation, TV, ETC reader. So you have a card reader here. And these automatic things here that read when you go through the tolls. But makes life a lot easier. It's got cruise control. I'm not going to be using that. But yeah. Set off for our road trip around 7 a.m., which is perfect because my son goes to school around that time. Also, my wife. Right now, I've been driving them every day because my wife is in between cars as she sold hers and is upgrading, but we're doing all the repair stuff. Our area is doing an immense upgrade to the toll road system. Currently, it's a 1 in 1 lane, so 1 in each direction. But by 2026, or 6 stops, it's going to go 2 and 2. So you see a lot of construction in our area, whether it's new tunnel systems or new ETC readers, everything like that. It's really cool, but we have to go through the construction for now. So as we approach the gate, because in our area you can either get off the toll road and pay a small fee, or you can get on the bigger toll and head to Nagasaki, Fukuoka, wherever. You're going to see green signs. So in Japan, if you see a blue sign, it's a normal road. A green sign means a toll road. Keep that in mind because, you know, it's kind of hard not to get lost here since you're not native. But as you saw when I passed through the gate, there's 2 gates. So the gate on the left And it's not always that way, it's either one or the other. But the gate here on the left was ETC. As you saw, I passed through strenuously, didn't have to stop. Really good if you have a kid sleeping, because the other side, you have to stop, you actually have to give them money. And if you don't know the toll gate in advance, you're going to have to get change back. It makes it a little bit complicated. But you can go on, just Google ETC toll route and plug in where you're getting on, where you're getting off, and it's going to tell you the exact amounts. So you can have the change or dollars and whatever already. So you're not going to be short. They also do take credit card. They don't take MasterCard, only Visa. Everything else is Japanese credit cards. So be advised of that. So if you don't have the yen and you have a Visa, they will take it, but it's going to be a long wait. Alright, the first thing I'm going to show you here is a rest stop. So as you see the sign, there was a coffee, teacup, whatever. That means there's food available. The I is for information, or I'm going to show you what else it means. And then also there's long rest stops. If you don't see anything, it's just going to be a vending machine and a toilet. So those are important to understand. So this rest stop comprised of Beef Bowl restaurant and a 7-Eleven. If you notice the 7-Eleven, the logo isn't 7-Eleven, it's 7-Eleven and I Holdings. It's important to understand because that means they have an ATM. So if you do need cash, you can pull cash even though you have a foreign credit card here. The other thing that's great about rest stops is trash cans. Trash cans are not common in Japan. So where does that sound? So take advantage when you do stop to throw your stuff away. At most rest stops, you're going to have this. It's a little stamp for the actual rest stop and basically the city that it's located in the attraction. I like to collect them. So some people actually have books full of the stamps. So if this is something you're into, please take advantage. The other thing I wanted to point out here is most rest stops have this. It's some type of a live system showing you if there's some accidents or upcoming construction. I wasn't trying to get too close because this was next to the women's restroom, and I'm not trying to be weird. So as we approached Hiroshima, obviously the landscape changed a lot. We had made it onto the main island of Honshu, and for basically most of this drive, other than the really open deserted areas and mountainous areas, you're going to see concrete barriers on the sides. And that's to reduce sound from entering the areas around there, or scaring livestock or whatever. But you want to be mindful of what is coming up. And the signs, road signs here in Japan are very helpful. They're always going to inform you of what's coming up, dangerous turns, rest stops, hey, take a break. It's amazing, honestly. I can't say enough about it. So here's an example of the large rest stops. This rest stop, for some reason, had a rose garden and a bunch of different stuff you can take pictures with. It was super cool. And I wanted to get out, my son wanted to get out, stretch our legs. That's what road tripping in Japan makes it so unique. There's so much to see, not even in the city, just at the rest stop. Okay, let's go. It's a heart. So once inside, you're going to have restaurants with actual food, but most of the rest stops have unique foods being sold. They're basically the attractions of the local prefecture or the town, so I love to buy stuff. So as we actually made it into Kobe, Osaka area, once again, the landscape changed immensely. We started to hit a lot of traffic, and the scenery went from green to concrete jungle, as I like to call it. Keep in mind, the lanes are small, so if you're not comfortable, please choose a smaller vehicle. All the vehicles here are safe, but just keep that in mind that this is what city driving looks like. I actually get a little terrified of it because some people just don't know how to drive no matter what country you go to. So our hotel is located on a man-made island next to the airport, which is on another man-made island in the harbor of Kobe. So there was a lot of overpasses, underpasses, train passes. It was kind of cool. And for some reason, there's a building there that looks like a ship, which I literally thought was a ship. So it was kind of cool. Never been to Kobe, and I would definitely come back. All right, so here's the quickest hotel tour you're ever going to get. You're not going to see the bathtub and the toilet because it was made in the 1930s for whatever reason, but this hotel was great for 150 bucks for 3 days, whatever it was. Two beds, little closet, fridge, great view. Unfortunately, though, the number one thing that we booked for here, which was the pool, is closed until like July 20th for whatever reason. Even though it's near 100 degrees, it's still closed. It's only open for 45 days a year. So, for whatever reason, couldn't use it. The next morning, though, we had some great views of the ocean. We got to see so many boats pulling in and out, trains. My son literally was parked at the window for a good 30 minutes. So if there's any smears on the window, that's why. Alright, so good morning, guys. We are ready. We're about to hit the road. We're going to Awaiji Island. We're going to have lots of fun. So let's hit the road. It's about a 40-minute drive to where we're going to. So let's take a quick view of the lobby here in the hotel. It had a strong Showa vibe. I didn't get to record, but on the other side there's actually a company. There's a family mart and a small little post office as well. So super convenient if you use this hotel in downtown Kobe. So as we left the hotel and we headed through downtown Kobe, I wanted to highlight some of the things that you'll see in this area. So obviously I live in the countryside. We have things set up a little different way, and I found downtown Kobe to be quite interesting while driving through. So the first thing here, as I go through to the light, I want you to notice the signs. So this is something I haven't talked about in the video yet. Everywhere you go in Japan, regardless of where you're at, Okinawa, Hokkaido, Tokyo, all the street signs are going to have English, aka Romaji. It's not an official way of writing Japanese, but it's basically just ABCs, the alphabet. Super handy to all foreigners because we can just read it. Doesn't matter if you speak Spanish or some other language. It's way easier because obviously you don't read kanji and hiragana and katakana, but you can read this. Another thing to point out here in front of me, that is what a taxi looks like. So if you see a vehicle with some type of light on top, it's a taxi. So obviously they come in different colors, they're not all black. But in Kobe, they're all black. Don't ask me why, that's probably just the company. So as we drive through downtown Kobe, it's interesting to note. So certain parts of Japan obviously took a heavier toll during World War II. Downtown Kobe, actually, a lot of the buildings did survive some of the bombings. So you'll see some structures that have been repurposed, and it's kind of cool to see some of the brick buildings and older buildings repurposed into Starbucks or a cafe, a pet cafe, all sorts of stuff. So coming up here in a second, on the lane I want you to notice the writing there. It's important to look at stuff like that to notice where you're going to go. So obviously you can't read kanji, kanagana, hiragana, but if it says something there, it usually means you're going to get on the freeway or you're headed towards a city. So it's kind of important to memorize what the city you're going to it looks like. So as I've talked about before, that is what an ETC looks like. You don't have to stop. You don't have to have yen ready. Super convenient. So if you go on a road trip, please try and get a company that will lend you a card. Or if you're here already and you don't have a card, you can sign up for ETC. So as we pass over Awaji Bridge, I wanted to take a great video of this. So Awaji Bridge is known in the fishing community and throughout Japan as being one of the biggest bridges. It's an expansion bridge, obviously, but underneath it there are some wicked whirlpools. A lot of fishing charters, fishing boats hang out in this area because the rapid currents attract a lot of big game fish. So if you go to Osaka or Kobe for the purposes of fishing, you're probably going to come near the bridge. Right after passing over the bridge, we made a quick stop at Awaji, the actual rest stop. Was cool. There was a Ferris wheel, all sorts of other stuff to do. The main reason we did a road trip, like I said before, my friend shared with me they took the Shinkansen to Kobe and then took a bus to Awaji. They didn't know it drops you off at that stop, not at the park. So imagine having to walk what we just drove, 5-10 minutes, to the park itself. Ugh, whether it's cold or hot, that's miserable. So right as you enter the park, the first attraction, I guess you could say, is Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest isn't my thing. If it is, it's definitely large. There's a huge maze, a bunch of different products that they sell. So if you're interested in that, please check it out. So once I checked in, I strapped up. It was time to go ziplining into Shingatsu's mouth.
Alright, here we go. I'm absolutely nuts.
一度ハーネスとヘルメット確認いたしますね。後ろ確認します。はい、ではこちらからお進みください。では上のワイヤー頭ぶつけないように階段3段目まで登ってください。はい、じゃあ3段目で立った状態でお願いいたします。よいしょ。スタートからゴールまで絶対に手離さないようにだけお願いいたします。はい、ではハンドルギュッと握っていただいて一段下段差降りましょう。はい、じゃあそのまま体重後ろにグーってかけれますか？寝転がるように倒れてもらって足宙に浮かせましょう。そうです。いけますか？はい。いけそうですか？はい。じゃあ腕と足しっかり伸ばしてゴールまでお願いします。はい、では準備よろしいですか？はい。それではいきます。3、2、1、いってらっしゃい。
Not gonna lie, that was probably the coolest thing I've done the last year here in Japan. If you're a big guy like me, I'm 6'3", going on 6'4", close to 200 pounds. It's a little uncomfortable. It's not necessarily made for us. I was right at the limit of weight, but nonetheless, super fun. Little bump, literally 2 days after this, they turned on water jets to spray you as you go into the mouth, because it was nearly 100 degrees at 10 a.m.
RT. Where's RT?
So the one thing I didn't mention is prior to this, you go into this top secret briefing. They make this whole spectacle like a game.
My card.
So you're basically going into Godzilla's mouth, and then you're gonna fight off cells or whatever, because the self-defense forces have frozen him, and he's trying to reanimate. So this game that I'm playing here, you're basically shooting the cells. It's been a military experience. I don't know, I'm just good at shooting. Apparently I scored third all yeah, there's that. Pretty fun game.
Yeah.
神戸飛ぶで
Let's take pictures, Toma. Yeah. Come on. Come with me.
After you walk from the game area, there's this platform that my wife was standing on. It's
Come here.
photos,
Come here.
video of me. There's a
Tama.
little bucket full of different random stuff. You can take
Come,
a
come, come,
picture
come. Toma, here.
next to Shin Godzilla.
Yeah, 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 like
Obviously,
that.
I took the opportunity. My son wasn't about it. He was starting to get a little overheated. So after this, we immediately headed over to the Godzilla Museum. So as you enter the museum, there's a map of all the locations of the different movies. Correct me if I'm wrong, there's 38 movies in the franchise right now. Anywhere from Shin Godzilla and a replica of Tokyo Station to the actual suits used in Tokyo SOS and some of the models used for various movies. It was quite impressive to see these things.
Yeah, the
since
submarine.
The originals from the 50s, 60s, 70s have all deteriorated and are basically gone to history.
Just too excited. Peas.
So this here is a replica of the original 1954 movie Godzilla. So the original costume itself, some of the costumes, because there was 3 was made, was actually made of concrete. So imagine being in this thing in 100 degrees plus wearing concrete. One of the things I really wanted to see was this display right here. So this is Space Godzilla and a robot called Megira, which is a reanimated suit from the 1960s. But this movie took place in Fukuoka, very close to where we live. And these are the original suits from that movie, so it was a real treat. These are some of the display items of every single kaiju, aka monster, from the Toho series.
Look at some of
So
Rodan.
anything from 1954 onward
Mothra.
to present. It was kind of cool to see them all. My son knows 90% of the names, which is kind of scary for being 3 years old, but was super cool to see how much the series has evolved and
Toma, see?
how
Look
much
at the
it
line.
played
Look at the
into
line.
modern day
see the
CGI.
line? Can you tell me
So
their names?
immediately after to this,
Toma, tell
we
me their
made a
names.
little movie, and took a picture, which is so much
You want
fun.
what?
So here you go. After Godzilla, we headed down to Shinchan, which the heat was really starting to play a role at this point in the day. So after this, we called it quits. But Shinchan was super cool. Like I talked about before, Shinchan has been around for nearly 50 years and is still going strong. It's a kid favorite. It had a maze of the kindergarten, first grade, I'm not sure what to call it. Just various weird things, like a super smelly sock, monsters, all sorts of weird stuff, but my son had an absolute blast. If you do go here and you got kids, you have to go check this out.
What, for me?
おやおや見つかっ
So one of the things that Shin-chan is really known for is his cosplay. So whether he's a Mexican, his Godzilla with a butt, cross-dressing, superheroes, you name it. He's known for doing all these ridiculous things. It's pretty funny. So lastly, I'm going to talk about food. Food here was really good, surprisingly. I had the Mothra curry. My son had some type of a monster potato chicken thing. Super affordable. We're talking $4 to $5 per plate. So highly recommend.
Hey guys, morning. So it's the day after we went to the park. We are about ready to go. We're getting all the stuff into the car, about to check out and head back on the road for another 8 hours of fun, torment, however you think of it. But yeah, we'll get on the road here. I'm not going to share too much about the trip back because it's pretty much a trip here. We covered everything from the basics of renting the car, driving on tolls, fees, rest stops, a little bit of Kobe. Last night I didn't get to film it because it was a private, but for my birthday we had Kobe beef and Wagyu. Super good. So good. Can't say it enough. But yeah, we had some fun. So let's get on the road here. Let's have a good thing, and I will catch you back in Sasebo, and we will talk about turning in the vehicle. And that'll close out this week's episode. So let's hit the road. Hey guys, so welcome back. I'm back home. I've been home a few days. I'm going through, I'm editing videos, downloading everything. And I just wanted to kind of walk through the last phase of this video. So obviously we rented the car, we went on the road trip, we went to the amusement park, had a great time, and we drove back. I wasn't going to film all the stuff coming back because it's 8 hours of driving. Hiroshima, we stopped and made a quick stop at a small village near Hiroshima where you can take to the island over there, and there's like deer and stuff. But honestly, it was hot. I wasn't trying to take video or whatnot. I was trying to come back. We made a stop at IKEA on the way back to eat because it's cheap. But yeah, we had a great time. Turning in the vehicle and pulling the vehicle out, I wasn't allowed to tape, but it's pretty quick in, quick out. The flyer that you got was in English. Should have took pictures for you, but it's really easy for foreigners to do this. Didn't pay anything. Made sure the car was full up. So when you do rent a car here in Japan, I've done it multiple times in different places like Okinawa, Tokyo, whatever. They ask for you to refill it and bring the receipt. So make sure you do that, or you pay. I wouldn't really say hefty fine, but it's a fine. You know, it is what it is. You're renting a car. Just make sure you're taking good care of it. Our car was absolutely trashed because the amount of bugs that we hit, because it is what it is, you know. It's summertime. All the bugs are out. But yeah, over and all, just had a great experience. We turned in the vehicle Sunday afternoon, a few hours early. Took maybe 10 minutes in and out, just super easy. Post if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything. You can always shoot me on my socials, and I'm more than happy to try and help you out if you are trying to do a trip or even go to the theme park that I went to, which was Nijin no Mori. Still don't know it, even though I went, but had a great time. Wish it was a little cooler. After Shin-chan, we were absolutely drenched in sweat, but had a great time nonetheless. Alright guys, so I'll leave you with some little footage of the Kyushu to Honshu bridge. So Honshu's main island with Osaka, Tokyo, everything, and we're in Kyushu, bottom island. Absolutely beautiful. If you do go across that bridge, make sure to go at the rest stop. Some great viewing points, and then special cookies like they have at every stop. Alright guys, thanks for coming this week, and hopefully the weather gets better and we can get back to fishing. Peace.